Welcome, everyone, to the 2025 State of the City Address. My name is Andrea Ray, and I'm so thrilled to be able to welcome you here this evening. It is so important for us when there is so much division and so much polarization in our world that we take a moment to stop, to connect, and to gather in person and in community to celebrate everything that connects us and everything that makes us stronger. And that is grit, and that is growth, and that is gratitude. And I am so full of gratitude for all of you being here today to celebrate community and celebrate together. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here and being part of this amazing, beautiful community that we call home and that we know and love and treasure so deeply. And in that spirit of gratitude, I also want to thank some of our sponsors that made this evening possible. Northwest Furniture Bank. Look at this beautiful furniture. Northwest Furniture Bank, thank you so much. Thank you also to Lowe's, the beautiful flowers, the mums here. Again, thank you so much to Lowe's. Foster's Creative, all of your event support, Bryson, your team, your Logan, thank you so much for all of the event support that you have shown us. So grateful for all of that. We have a wonderful, amazing lineup for you tonight. I want to also thank so much Reverend Sweepy Viela and the Samoa Congressional Christian Church Choir from Fort Lewis. They will join us on stage now. So if I could please have the choir up.
What so proudly we hailed
Thank you again so much to the Samoa Congressional Christian Church Choir from Fort Lewis, Washington. Another huge round of applause for them. Fantastic. And while they are exiting the stage, I am thrilled to introduce to you all Pastor Annie Jones Barnes, who will lead us in an invocation.
Peace, everyone. You all were supposed to say peace. Please join me in this invocation. Gracious and eternal Spirit, we gather today at this state of the city, a moment both reflective and forward-looking. We pause to honor this city we call home, with all its beauty, challenges, and promise. We acknowledge that these have been difficult and controversial times. Words have been sharp, divisions deep, and too often neighbors have been mean and disrespectful to one another. Yet, even in this, we give thanks for the grit that has carried Tacoma forward. The grit of leaders who kept showing up, and the grit of everyday people who chose to keep faith with this community. Grit has been our anchor, teaching us that progress is rarely easy, but always worth the struggle. We celebrate the growth that has shaped our neighborhoods, our economy, and our people. Growth not only in buildings and businesses, but in voices lifted, communities strengthened, and possibilities widened. Growth that not come only from what is built, but from what is healed. Learning again how to listen, how to repair trust, how to imagine a city where every voice is honored. And we stand in gratitude. Gratitude for the service of our mayor and civic leaders, for the tireless labor of so many who often go unseen, and for the people of Tacoma whose everyday faithfulness makes this city what it is. Gratitude for those who carried heavy burdens without complaint, and for the people who, despite struggle, still believe in this city is worth loving. Gratitude binds us together, reminding us that we are not solitary, but interwoven. As we mark this final state of this city under this administration, grant us wisdom to guide our next steps, courage to face what is yet unfinished, and vision to dream beyond what is. May we find the strength to move beyond bitterness, the courage to choose respect over ridicule, and the resolve to build together what none of us can build alone. guide us, oh great Spirit, that grit, growth, and gratitude may not just be words spoken today, but practices lived tomorrow. We pray this in the name of compassion, justice, mercy, peace, love, and truth, in the name of all that is good. And the people of the Lord said, Amen. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Pastor Annie. Strong, amazing, beautiful words. And now we have the honor to introduce to you Mayor Victoria Woodards, someone who absolutely embodies passion, strength, and courage, who I am honored to call a personal friend and who has shown me that love is action. And welcoming her to the stage, of course, is the one and only Lincoln Drumline. So please give it up for them and our amazing mayor.
Okay, I didn't feel like my mic was on. Welcome to the 2025 State of the City Address. Now, this is off script, but let me just take a moment. You all saw the council and I looking around like, what were we supposed to do? And we had a completely different plan that didn't work out the way, something got changed before we got on stage. But what I want to say about that is that despite the fact that it didn't work out the way we planned it, I'm so grateful to have a city council who will follow me anywhere. Now, before I begin tonight, I want to pause to acknowledge that today is Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year for many in our Jewish community. To those observing, I want you to know we see you. We honor the meaning of this sacred day, and we are grateful for the ways you enrich the fabric of this city. Now, thanks to each and every one of you for being here tonight as I deliver my final State of the City address. Let's start by giving another round of applause to the speakers and the performers who opened up this program. Thank you for lending your talents to us this evening. Now, as a Lincoln High School graduate, John Hines, the first thing, and Ayanna, the first thing I have to say tonight is, go Abes. I am so appreciative to have come full circle, celebrating the close of my time as your mayor right here where it began 8 years ago, when I stood on this very stage to give my first State of the City address. I could have never predicted what lie ahead for Tacoma and the world. When I think about the challenges we've endured, the successes we have built, and the opportunities ahead, I'm inspired by the legacy of two individuals who had a profound impact on me personally and have a lasting legacy in this community. I would like to dedicate this evening's address to the memory of two individuals who committed themselves to realizing Tacoma's potential. Our 34th mayor and the man I call my dad and mentor, Harold G. Moss. And to my colleague, my friend, and co-conspirator, City Council Member Catherine Ushka. In their lifetime, Mayor Moss and Councilmember Ushka were tireless champions for Tacoma, and they pursued those objectives without fear or consideration for the risk or popularity. Their sense of purpose outlasted their days here on earth, but their purpose lives on in every one of us. Tonight, I want to reflect more broadly on what we've been through as a community, how we've gotten through it, and the gratitude we should all feel because of it, using the theme grit, growth, and gratitude. Some have said that grit is the persistence in following your own destiny. And here in the City of Destiny, we know the value of perseverance as we passionately push towards our long-term goals, uncompromised by doubt. Proudly known as the Grit City, we know firsthand the power of a community's collective determination to realize the potential of a place undeterred by obstacles. That power has built Tacoma to be the city we all know and we all love. In every corner of the city, I see people who embody grit, neighbors organizing block parties, community advocates and organizations speaking up for our most vulnerable, artists preparing stories about our rich cultural history, and business owners betting on Tacoma time and time again. Behind each of those examples are 2 or 3 stories I could tell, but what I think is so powerful is that each and every one of us has a story. So let's hear what Terry Prim, a guaranteed income recipient, has to say about what grit means to her.
Grit means to me empowerment, the ability to empower myself to be better as a mother, as a first generation, as a woman who is striving to be the best version I can be here in Tacoma. It means the voices for people who are constantly striving to be a better human being, to connect, community, empowering each other, and fighting and advocacy, resilience. It's, you're constantly struggling, but yet you come out of it stronger. That's what it truly means. It's like you're a strong person and it becomes your identity that you can conquer anything.
Thank you, Terry, and thank you for sharing your definition of grit. Our grit has been passed down from generation to generation. We are a reliable people, and we know that the only way to overcome hard luck is with hard work. You see, Grit City rose from the precious contributions of the Coast Salish tribes, especially our partners, the Puyallup tribe. The vision of the railroad workers who sought a better life, settling at the western terminus of the Transcontinental Railroad. The fortitude of the port workers who built out our shorelines and created a flourishing maritime industry in Commencement Bay. The struggle of our labor advocates who fought for better wages and stood for their rights during the bloody battle on the bridge. Our community has attracted generations of people seeking a better life, including waves of immigrants, Chinese, Japanese, Mexicans, Italians, Germans, Filipinos, Vietnamese, and many other refugees from around the globe. They arrived here motivated by a vision for a better future. They settled, shared their culture, and imprinted their identity on our community, making the city of Tacoma what we know it as today. Now let's be honest, we haven't always been a welcoming city. And while we have risen from our past, there have been dark days in Tacoma's history. We still lament the horrors, the violence, and the discrimination. Our reconciliation with the past provides us with clarity in confronting our present-day problems and reminds us of the value of every human being. In 2003, the New York Times printed an article that described our beloved community as always the lesser city on the Puget Sound. Smelly, crumbling, hometown of Ted Bundy, serial killer, a dusty, dying pulp mill, mud hole, with an understandable ego problem. Well, we all know that ain't true. But instead of letting outside critics define us, we owned our grit. When times felt tough, we turned it into pride, like local merchant Sonia Silver, who boldly printed t-shirts that read, "Gritty Tacoma, celebrating our spirit." We became increasingly proud of our blue-collar heritage and the historical culture and economic factors that shaped the tenacity of our people over time. Unpolished, that's our authenticity. Simple, we are not pretentious. Rough around the edges, Tacoma is gritty. When I was elected mayor in 2017, after serving on the city council for 7 years, our community had momentum on our side. Following the openings of our convention center, the LeMay, America's Car Museum, and the first phases of our light rail expansion, we were enjoying steady job growth and rising wages when a once-in-a-generation pandemic changed history, claiming the lives of over 1,600 Pierce County residents and nearly 17,000 Washingtonians. Our daily routine stopped, and many of us found ourselves at home from work and school, isolated from one another and mourning the loss of loved ones. The economic uncertainty caused by the pandemic resulted in unemployment, supply chain disruptions, closures of schools, and the loss of businesses and nonprofits. It devastated our city. It was catastrophic for our city budget that had already endured long-term structural deficits. And each of us, in our own way, carried the weight of the pandemic. Whether we realize it or not, our grit was at the forefront of everything we did during that time. Even when we fulfilled simple tasks like getting groceries, spending time with friends and family, going to work, making payroll, and just plain maintaining our sanity. Then we got some good news from the other Washington, an influx of federal funding from the America Rescue Plan Act. That enabled us to maintain city services, address health and economic disparities, and provide relief to homeowners, renters, and small businesses. Despite these wins, the pandemic exacerbated our most critical challenges: affordable housing and homelessness, aging infrastructure in need of repair, social isolation and youth mental health, growing budget deficits, and most importantly, community safety and quality of life. As I prepare to leave office, Tacoma is contending with additional challenges, like the global uncertainty caused by changes to our immigration and trade policies, the potential advent of tariffs and a trade war, and the ongoing national political division. Even as we are faced with these issues, we continue to seek solutions and engage in hard conversation. Let's face it, challenges are going to come, but I know that we can and we will overcome the trials and tribulations with resolve and determination. It's how we grow together with that famous grit on full display. You see it in our first responders showing up call after call without reservation. You see it in our small businesses selling their products to neighbors and artists completing commissioned work, earning a living with their creativity. You see it in our nonprofits and faith leaders and our volunteers who step up to help those in need of basic services like food and shelter because they were called to do so. You see that grit in the first-time home buyer who scraped together enough savings for a down payment on securing a house, finally securing the American dream. And finally, I see it in each and every one of you. That gritty determination is what gives us the courage to dream bigger and invest in the future. And there is no clearer reflection of that future than our children. Their energy, their laughter, and their limitless potential remind us why this matters. As I start to speak on growth, I want to say every challenge we meet today provides a firm foundation for our children to stand on. So let's hear how they define growth.
Growing means getting bigger, stronger, and doing more things.
Growth means when something is planted or something is happening and it becomes bigger.
Also strawberries, and also lemons, and also cherries.
Growth can be easy, but mostly it is hard because it has to become over time.
Easy. Bigger, stronger, and it can do more things. I can't think of anything else. Bye.
Let's give our young people a round of applause. Tacoma is a city on the rise. Our skyline is changing, our neighborhoods are growing, and we are seeing steady economic progress. Just in the last 8 years, we've seen our population grow by over 15,000 residents to almost 230,000. But that growth isn't just about size. It's about the spirit of our grit. It reflects the determination of a community that refuses to be defined by its challenges, but instead uses them as stepping stones towards opportunity. Together, we have advanced economic security by reducing poverty, creating new workforce pathways, strengthening public safety, and building trust, investing in the quality of life by promoting housing affordability, and expanding opportunities for our young people. Growth brings responsibility, and so we must be intentional about the city we are building. You see, growth is not just about numbers. It's about building a city where opportunity is in reach for everyone, where every child can see their future here, and where every family feels at home. Tonight, I want to share how these efforts connect to a Tacoma that invests in its people, its places, and its future. Our economy is steadily growing across many sectors, and we're proud to see expansion led by organizations such as Columbia Bank, whose acquisition of Pacific Premier Bank Corp strengthened Tacoma's leadership in the financial sector. Fathom Seafood, who is bringing a $280 million, 550,000 square foot facility to a former brownfield site, creating hundreds of jobs. Downtown is attracting investment and new energy through the waterfront, parks, restaurants, museums, and the famous UW Tacoma campus. With the support of organizations like the Tacoma Pierce County Chamber and Spaceworks, we are seeing more and more small businesses open up and chase their dreams. And with the passage and future reauthorization of Tacoma Creates, we will continue to see more programming year to year supporting our thriving creative economy. In order for growth to continue, we must provide businesses with certainty. The City Council will soon adopt the Tide Flats Sub-Area Plan, which focuses on strengthening and securing the success of our port, which ranks among the top 10 container ports in the United States. This 8-year effort was a collaboration with the Port of Tacoma, the Puyallup Tribe of Indians, the City of Fife, and Pierce County. And while some said it couldn't be done, shortly you will see that it will. This plan balances economic vitality, environmental restoration, and community well-being in one of our most industrial areas. Now, this partnership wasn't easy, but we had the grit to stay at the table, and we unanimously sent it to the Planning Commission. Tacoma Public Schools and the Port of Tacoma are building a maritime school center, opening in 2026 to prepare the workforce of tomorrow. This past year also brought progress in how our community connects and learns. Our communications team launched a new website, improved payment tools, and opened a new data portal. And after a $6 million investment, the Tacoma Public Library reopened its main branch, adding makers labs, teen and children's spaces, and a hub for community organizations. This space has been an example of a national model for collaborative resourcing. Now, normally, I would make a big announcement for this year's Tacoma Reads program, but that's when the State of the City normally happens in March. But since it's taking place on October 16th, you have already heard that this year's book is See No Stranger, written by Valerie Kaur. I chose this book to remind us that everyone who chooses to be here belongs here. So I invite all of you to join us on October 16th at the Tacoma Armory for my final Tacoma Reads event. This event will be part of a series that celebrates the Year of Belonging, which is a partnership between Tacoma Community House and the Tacoma Public Library. In addition to all that great work, we are also investing in safety, infrastructure, and sustainability. The Planning and Permitting Division is implementing our Safe Routes to School and our Vision Zero action plans. Public Works installed and repaired 25,000 signs, upgraded alleyways and ramps, and revitalized more than 300 miles of streets, surpassing our original goal. These efforts leveraged $135 million in grants and resulted in $397 million worth of investments in Tacoma's streets. Meanwhile, greenhouse gas emissions citywide dropped 10% in 8 years. And municipal emissions, that's worth clapping for. But our municipal emissions are down 24%, getting us closer to our long-term vision of net zero by 2050. We've expanded EV charging stations across the city, more than doubling those just in downtown. We deployed hybrid and electric city vehicles and modernized public facilities with 100% electric systems. Now, we all know that housing remains one of Tacoma's greatest challenges, and it also brings us opportunity. The multifamily tax exemption program has spurred over 8,600 housing units during my tenure, including nearly 400 affordable units, and leveraged over $1.2 billion in private investments. Looking forward, nearly 4,000 more units, including 400 affordable homes, are approved and will be built in the next 3 years. Last year's adoption of Home in Tacoma, one of the most significant zoning updates in the city's history, has opened the door to more diverse and sustainable housing options like duplexes, townhomes, and ADUs. We are also strengthening our emergency response. In 2021, we opened Fire Station number 5, the first new station in 18 years. And we've already acquired land for a future new South Tacoma station in partnership with Parks Tacoma. We've purchased 5 new fire trucks, 3 of which are already in operation, with another 2 coming online next year. This is to ensure our firefighters have what they need to do the job. Those trucks are replacing engines that have been in service for over 40 years. Just imagine the wear and tear on the car you drive for that amount of time. It was time, and we unanimously decided to do it. And speaking of public safety, the council and I recently approved a lateral incentive program to recruit highly qualified, experienced officers to help reduce overtime. And we are already seeing results. 2 weeks ago, along with our interim chief, Patty Jackson, and the incredible service of the Tacoma Police Department, I had the honor to witness the swearing in of 10 new officers. This program is aimed at closing the gap and getting us to our fully staffed capacity of 367 officers for the first time in decades. We launched a public TPD crime dashboard, viewed more than 71,000 times since last year to build transparency. And our violent crime reduction plan, thanks to the hard work of our officers, has helped reduce homicides by more than 50% since 2022. And I could care less what people from outside the city say about the safety of our city, because I feel like I can walk absolutely anywhere at any time and feel safe. But we made all of these changes with one goal in mind: to foster a stronger sense of safety for all. Yes, public safety is about protecting lives, but it's also about protecting the humanity in each of us. And nowhere is that more urgent than in how we respond to homelessness. My colleagues and I are grateful to join neighboring cities to support a regional response to homelessness led by the Pierce County Continuum of Care. This approach aims to coordinate a county-wide response for a more seamless and effective strategy to reduce homelessness. Thanks to our state delegation, we were able to secure over $6 million to allow the continued operation of our most critical shelter sites, supported Pierce County as they established shelter operations and continued to expand in unincorporated county. Under the leadership of former Governor Christine Gregoire, and in partnership with Chantel, our new Tacoma Pierce County Health Department Director, we secured $1 million in state funding for street medicine to serve our unhoused neighbors. The commitment to ending homelessness is not ours alone. I recognize the tireless work of the people, organizations, and groups who show up every day with compassion, courage, and unwavering dedication to this shared mission. Together, these efforts and countless others show Tacoma's commitment not just to progress, but for the care of every resident. Tonight, I lift you up for being the heart of the city and for all you bring. Let's give them a round of applause. The council and I have tackled these major crises together, but there are few initiatives that hold special meaning to me. While many of these issues are passions that push me to run for office, most of you know you don't have the choice in what you focus on as an elected leader. And one of those issues that continued to demand my focus was the critical relationship between our community and law enforcement. As a Black woman in America, I carry a deep understanding of the fear and anxiety that communities of color often feel in their interactions with law enforcement. That truth became painfully clear for our city. When the nation was shaken by protest, we faced our own public tragedy with the death of Manuel Manny Ellis. Manny was deeply loved and known for his warmth and charisma. In that moment, our community stood together. And while cities across the country burned, Tacomans marched with determination and grace, with the support of our police department, demanding accountability and keeping focus where it belonged, on transformation. Out of that tragedy came action. The City Council and I unanimously passed Resolution 40622, affirming our commitment to becoming an anti-racist city. And that commitment extended not only to our BIPOC community, but to our immigrants, our refugees, to our LGBTQIAS+ communities, and to everyone who at times feels like they're neither wanted or feel like they belong. Now we know that from history, that acknowledgement is not enough without those actions. That is why we developed a 12-point accountability and transparency improvement plan to rebuild trust and to improve public safety. As we took steps towards transformation, the Tacoma Police Department, in partnership with its unions, helped us to quickly deploy body cams and dash cams across the entire department to answer the community's demands. We also adopted 8 Can't Wait, updated our use of force code, and led the way in the state in bargaining the timing of internal investigations and felony suspensions. And finally, in response to the calls from the community and our police advisory committee, we just entered the bargaining process for police oversight. In Tacoma, we know that true public safety goes beyond enforcement. It's about trust, compassion, meeting people where they are and providing the right service at the right time. That's why I'm proud to have been a leader in advancing our alternative response initiatives. This work allows us to provide options other than an armed police response. Through our community trauma response team, we are piloting a community-led approach to counseling and violence intervention. This work builds trust in neighborhoods, helps heal trauma, and reduces pressure on the system by supporting victims and neighbors. We also expanded our HEAL, Homeless Engagement Alternatives Liaison Team, a multidisciplinary group that builds trust and connects our unhoused neighbors with shelter services and long-term supports. Our HOPE, Holistic Outreach Promoting Engagement Team, provides specialized response to behavioral health crisis by providing on-site, in-the-moment support for individuals in crisis, strengthening the network of first responders, courts, jails, community providers, and hospitals who serve them. And with the addition of community safety officers, we are strengthening our ability to respond to non-emergency calls with trained professionals that free up our officers to focus on their most important duty, which is responding to crime. Each of these efforts reflects our belief that safety in Tacoma is not just a one-size-fits-all, and we must invest in alternatives. During my term as mayor, I've had the opportunity to elevate the story of Tacoma and our incredible work nationally. I had the honor of serving as the president of the National League of Cities, only the second mayor in Tacoma's history to do so. NLC is a nonpartisan advocacy organization that advances the interest of all cities, towns, and villages across America. Across the country, Tacoma is now recognized as a leader in advancing equity, driving workforce innovation, strengthening public health and safety, and advancing housing goals. Our equity index and story maps support our data-driven decision-making and have been recognized nationally over and over again as examples of meaningful data tools. One of the most meaningful acknowledgments of our equity work came when the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation honored Tacoma with its prestigious Culture of Health Prize. That recognition affirmed what we already know, that the collective impact of our community partners and our commitment to opportunity for all is making a difference in the lives of our residents. Our leadership on the national stage gave us a platform to share Tacoma's story, but more importantly, it brought back new resources, new relationships, and new ideas that continue to shape the future of our city. My platform as president led to the national launch of the Good Jobs, Great Cities initiative in partnership with the U.S. Department of Labor. This historic opportunity allowed Tacoma to join with 14 other communities across the country to build strategies to help workers upskill and reskill for the jobs of today and tomorrow, particularly in clean energy, infrastructure, and advanced manufacturing. Here at home, we partnered with Workforce Central, the Pierce County Central Labor Council, Clover Park and Bates Technical Colleges, and Absher Construction to create ladders of opportunity that allow people not just to find jobs, but to build careers. Through the Willard Early Learning Center, partners with the Tacoma Pierce County Central Labor are advancing 24/7 childcare. This is a game-changing opportunity for parents who work nights, weekends, and unpredictable shifts. And with the new Eastside Skills Center, we are creating a regional training hub that ensures those who need opportunity the most can access education and pathways to family wage jobs. Because when we invest in our people, we invest in Tacoma's future. And part of investing in our future is ensuring our residents have those supports necessary to thrive. Growing resilience in Tacoma, or GRIT as we like to call it, was a groundbreaking guaranteed income pilot conducted in partnership with United Way of Pierce County, Mayors for a Guaranteed Income, and the University of Pennsylvania. GRIT 1.0 provided a $500 a month stipend to 110 Tacoma families identified as ALICE, asset limited, income constraint, and employed. As one of the nation's inaugural universal basic income pilots, GRIT 1.0 demonstrated the power of unconditional financial support to strengthen economic stability, housing security, and overall well-being. And because of our success, with the great leadership of our speaker, Lori Jenkins, Tacoma was funded $1.9 million in state funds for GRIT 2.0. Tacoma was the only city in Washington state to be funded. And this expanded program reached another 175 families. The stories from our participants are an example of planting the seeds, watering the garden, and watching our efforts grow. I remember hearing Gino's story for the first time and how grit allowed him to simply breathe again. In that time, Gino focused on finding a tutor for his 11-year-old son who was struggling in school. He focused on providing insulin for another son and bringing the family together for their first outing in over a decade. And knowing the program wouldn't last forever, he took the opportunity to advance his own skills and get a raise at work so that when GRIT funds disappeared, he would be able to continue providing for his family. This coming week, in partnership with my good friend and Pierce County Executive Ryan Mello, we will be the first city to host Opportunity Knocks Live. A powerful day of action to help families living paycheck to paycheck get ahead. Inspired by the award-winning PBS series, this event brings the show to life, and it will happen right here in Tacoma. Families will connect with nonprofits, community organizations, and institutions for a powerful day of connection, focused on removing barriers, unlocking opportunities, and building equitable pathways to a better future. Thinking of the work I get to do inspires me. And I love that I can see just how impactful the work can be every day, which was never more apparent than in 2023. In response to the heartbreaking loss of 3 young lives in 3 weeks to gun violence, I convened regional partners with a shared commitment to stop the violence. Out of these senseless losses came an idea for the expansion of teen late nights. This program provided safe spaces, enrichment activities, and positive support for over 2,000 students. And in partnership with Parks Tacoma, Tacoma Public Schools, Pierce County, the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, and Green Trike, we made this happen. Across all locations, there were almost 16,000 visits. And most importantly, during 3 summers of programming, not one young life was lost to gun violence. And all of this brings me to one of my proudest accomplishments as mayor: the establishment of the Mayor's Youth Commission. The commission was established in 2019 to provide an opportunity for youth to engage in local government policymaking. In their early meetings, they formally chose to name themselves the Mayor's Youth Commission. I have always said that youth are not our future. They are our present, and we must engage them now in the decisions that shape the city that they will inherit. I am so impressed by the sense of purpose, civility, and leadership that our young people demonstrate. Let the example of our youth commissioners remind us of the awesome responsibility we have to one another as members of a democracy. I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge staff. Stella Keating, who at 11 years old told me that young people should have a voice in local government. Well, Stella is now in college, a stronger leader who has gone on to testify in support of civil rights protections for the LGBTQIA+ community, and she did that before the United States Senate. Because it was important to me that the Mayor's Youth Commission wouldn't end with my term, tonight, I am proud to announce that the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Puget Sound, under the leadership of Carrie Holden, will be our partner in providing a home and a space to our young people to continue this work. Thank you, Carrie and the Boys and Girls Club. This collaboration will strengthen our commitment to ensuring access while bringing valuable experience, fresh opportunities, and expanded support to help them thrive. Speaking of young people, standing here tonight in this auditorium reminds me of a young girl named Victoria Woodards, who at this point in life did not yet grasp her own capacity to step up and lead. Tacoma, you saw my potential. You helped me grow. And then you gave me the opportunity to be your mayor. And for that, I am forever grateful. Like wildflowers pushing up through the cracks in the pavement, we have bloomed in unlikely places, resilient, stretching and growing forward to the light. And now I pause to appreciate the beauty of what we have become.
This is the story of a skyline that didn't let the smog stop it from shining. A city birthed from extraordinary feats from ordinary people. Leaders whose hands knew steel and shovels long before they knew silver spoons. Some call it Grit City, others the city of destiny. And those who have loved it into existence, we just call it home. This is good soil, tended by hands of generations who knew this land before this nation, who planted seeds and spoke blessings in the shoot seed and raised their hands in gratitude. We raise our hands to them. We've raised our voices to fight injustices. Elders have raised our youth in villages. We are the people who understand that people are our most valuable resources. See, growth is inevitable here because grit is non-negotiable here. And we speak a language of gratitude for the many hands, hearts, and humans who have shaped the place where we have communion. Prosperous or challenging, stable or in transition, we understand the mission to make way for the generations who follow and to remind them that this is a place where everything and everyone can grow.
Thank you, Christian Page, for lending your voice once again to my State of the City. Before I move on to gratitude, I want to remind us, and I want you to know, that while I've taken the time tonight to talk about all the great things that we've done and all the amazing progress that we've made, I want you to know that I know that everything is not rosy, that everything is not perfect, that tonight, today, someone will lose their job. Someone won't be able to afford to pay their rent or mortgage. Someone will be harmed by violence. A child will go to bed hungry. Someone will feel the hate of someone else. Someone will experience a medical emergency and realize they don't have the health care to pay for it. That's our reality. That's where we sit, and that's why we do this work, to make sure that those tragedies and others won't happen. Have we fixed all of our problems? No. Do we have more work to do? Yes. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that this city is full of people who love it, who love the people in it, and who are willing to fight against anyone who tries to challenge it. You see, we've had a remarkable period of growth. And as your mayor, what fills me with the greatest pride is not what we've achieved, but how we've achieved it. We haven't just marched forward with grit. We've done it hand in hand. We've dreamed bigger, imagined brighter, and taken real, concise steps to make sure those dreams become a reality for everyone in our community. As I stand before you tonight, preparing to conclude my term in 89 days as your mayor of the best city in the universe, I am overwhelmed with gratitude. Let me be clear. This wasn't always easy. Working together to set the vision for a better future and take actions to realize it was hard work. Hard because doing this work together requires us to not just reach across our differences, but to let the tensions of our differences teach us and drive us to better outcomes. French poet Atole Francis said, "To accomplish great things, we must dream as well as act." While we as a city often provide resources to navigate gaps, it is equally important to provide a space and a place for people to dream, to imagine the foundational change that can be made between what is true today and what could be possible tomorrow. So often, we need vision to drive us forward, especially in these times when many of us feel troubled, uncertain, and isolated from our community. We need a sense of possibility to shore up our resilience as we continue to bound together our city and make sure that it continues to reach towards justice. It has been my privilege and my honor to serve as your mayor for the past 8 years. And I want to take a moment to thank the people who kept reminding me that this is possible for a community to overcome any setback, no matter how unprecedented. First, I want to thank my good friend and our former city manager, Elizabeth Pauley. And to our interim city manager, Hyung Kim, I want to thank you both for your professionalism, diligence, personal advice, and steadfast leadership of our municipal administration. Second, I want to acknowledge the contributions of our city staff who keep our city running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year without fuss or fanfare. To everyone on our city team, I hope you take a moment to appreciate your accomplishments, the bridges and roads that you have built, the services that you have provided, and the questions that you have answered. Tacomans are lucky to have the best team working on their behalf. Next, I want to thank my colleagues who have served alongside me on the City Council for over 15 years. I am grateful for your collaboration, for your friendship, and for your commitment to our hometown. We may not have always agreed on what or how, but we have always agreed on who. The city of Tacoma is better because of your service. As I have been fortunate enough to build strong intergovernmental relationships with our federal, state, regional, and local partners, to each of you, thank you for believing in Tacoma. I especially want to recognize our state legislators under the leadership, as I said earlier, of our own Speaker Lori Jenkins. Our congressional delegation, including my mayor, former Mayor Marilyn Strickland, Congresswoman Emily Randall, former Congressman Derek Kilmer, and Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray. To the one I started this elected journey with, Executive Ryan Mello. Thank you so much for the late night calls, the early morning tears, and for always being available. I couldn't have asked for a better partner to do this work with. And to all of the elected leaders of our neighboring cities, to the military leadership at Joint Base Lewis McChord, and so many others who continue to stand with and support the city of Tacoma. I am particularly proud of our deepened relationship with Chairman Sterrud, the council, and the entire Puyallup tribe of Indians. Because of this relationship, we now fly their flag in our chambers. We also renamed the Fishing Wars Memorial Bridge, sponsored and celebrated many events together, including the canoe journey. And we now acknowledge that the Puyallup tribe has stewarded these lands since time and memoriam at every city council meeting. Now, I could only find so many ways to say thank you. I even tried to use AI to help me find the number of words for the number of people I wanted to thank, but there just weren't enough. So please indulge me and hold on while I express my deepest appreciation to the following. First, to my mother. I wouldn't be standing here if you didn't decide over 60 years ago to have me. Thank you, Mom. To my best friend, who no matter when or no matter what, always has my back. Thank you for the love and support of all of my family and friends. Thank you to my current and former team, Bakota Warren and Paige Armstrong, Melanie Harding, and Nicole Emery. Thank you to everyone I've had the pleasure of working with on the 12th floor and throughout the city. Thank you to our local businesses, from our largest employers to our family-owned storefronts, for believing in this city, investing in its future, and helping drive the economic engine that keeps Tacoma moving forward. Thank you to our nonprofits and community organizations for lifting our community and for supporting us with your programs and dedication. Thank you to our faith-based organizations, our churches, our synagogues, our mosques, and wherever faith finds its home, for doing what you are called to do for our neighbors. Thank you to the Association of Washington Cities and the National League of Cities family for giving me the opportunity to represent you at the federal level, particularly Clarence Anthony and Deanna Dawson. Thank you to Foster's Creative for the design of the night and for everyone who made this program possible. And to everyone whose name wasn't spoken, please know that your impact is felt, your efforts are seen, and your presence matters deeply. The work is bigger than any list, and it's stronger because of all of you. And certainly, last but not least, I want to again thank the residents who challenged the city of Tacoma. You have played an important role in shaping our growth, encouraging us to rethink, reform, and improve the delivery of our services. We have taken on tough topics with empathy for one another and grown stronger together. More than anything, you gave me a sense of purpose over these past 8 years, and for that, again, I am grateful. Our solidarity stems from the strong relationships built between neighbors celebrating annual traditions like birthdays, holiday parties, or religious observances that we celebrate together, and creating neighborhood identities that are forged in solidarity across race, faith, or ethnicity. Our wisdom is built on the intergenerational connections and the exchanges of memories, cultures, and wisdom between our oldest and our newest residents. Together, we have learned, we have worked together and leaned into discomfort, engaging in honest conversations across our differences, to deepen our understanding and to grow as a community. Together, we've cultivated a sense of belonging rooted in our shared love for this place and its complex history. Together, we draw on the lessons of our past to navigate present challenges, choosing respect over division and courage in the face of uncertainty. Together, we have committed to making Tacoma a city in motion, one evolving in purpose and grounded in reconciliation, a place that truly welcomes all. Together, we celebrate our diversity. We strive towards equity. And we do the hard, necessary work of building a more inclusive community. And I believe that we will continue to do just that. Tacoma, I am thankful for your tenacity, your fortitude, and your amazing spirit and commitment to your neighbors. Your support has been my lifeblood, and I'm grateful to witness the bonds that we have shared. Neighbors welcoming strangers with open arms and caring for one another during the pandemic. Opponents agreeing to disagree respectfully. Generations extending opportunity and mentorship to those younger than them. I'm grateful for those who came before me, are here now, and those who will come after me. I leave you with these reminders. Be respectful in your dialogue and understanding in your relationships with one another. Always see the good first in everyone and assume the best intent. Don't forget the importance of being passionate about your views, but share them with civility. Keep doors open for those who come behind you. Against the national backdrop of uncertainty, one thing remains constant. Tacoma is strong and kind at the same time. We are bound together, not only by proximity, but by our shared values as a city. Our future will be shaped by the seeds you sow, the words you exchange, and the actions you take, the relationships you develop, and the solutions you propose today. As you leave here tonight, you will be given a gift to take with you. May it serve as a reminder of what we spoke about here tonight. Like the chrysanthemum, affectionately known as the mum, we embody grit, growth, and gratitude. You see, mums are late bloomers, defying the chill of autumn to burst forth in vibrant color when most other flowers have faded. That's grit. Thriving in adversity and showing up when it's the hardest. The layered petals unfold slowly, each one a testament to growth, steady, intentional, and resilient. And when they bloom, they don't just survive the season, they brighten it. That's gratitude, a quiet, radiant offering to the world around them. We too have weathered storms, unfolded in our own time, and now stand ready to give back with grace. Grit City remains steadfast in demanding and uplifting our shared values. And we will always get through any challenge and emerge stronger for it. When strangers settled here, we recognized their humanity. When industry went bust, we recovered. When a pandemic claimed lives and livelihoods, we recovered. When policies left some behind, we reformed. When pollution threatened our health and our environment, we reversed course. When past transgressions demanded accountability, reflected. When differences felt vast, we reconciled. When the opportunities and challenges of tomorrow confronted us today, we reimagined. When we faced adversity, we remained resilient. When we supported one another, we realized more of our potential. Our city has grown stronger, and for that, I am grateful. Tacoma will continue to grow, and for that, I am hopeful. Lady Bird Johnson once said, "Where flowers bloom, so does hope." But I carry more than hope for our future. I carry proof, and I carry faith. Tacoma has shown time and time again that we have the heart and the spirit to rise above every challenge. Grit City forged our path. Growth expands our horizon, and gratitude will always light the way ahead. Thank you.